As Annabelle mentioned, the topic that was announced that I would be speaking on last Sunday was on Bodhichita, and I thought before I leave, at least I should sort of fulfill that promise that I would teach on that subject. Even though I was unable to do so last Sunday, I thought I would do it today. So that's why I'm here. And Bodhichita, as you know, is an essential, not just a concept, essential concept of Mahayana Buddhism, but it's an integral part of Mahayana Buddhist practice. Bodhichita is not only, it should not be just thought of as some kind of metaphysical thing, but some kind of moral compass that would guide you through life, and a principle that you can actually live by. That's what Bodhichita really should mean. Because sometimes we may think Bodhichita simply means you should have a kind heart, loving kindness, as we say. And then if you have that, then you have Bodhichita. Actually, it is not like that. There are many kind-hearted people in this world, as you would know. But not every kind-hearted person has Bodhichita. So what would be lacking in these people who actually care about the world and to have concerns about social justice and things of that kind, and yet not possess Bodhichita? What is lacking is the Bodhi part. The enlightened quality. It's one thing to be kind-hearted, loving, caring, doing good work for the betterment of other people's lives, and even trying to sort of improve social conditions and bring about political changes and things of that kind. But if we do not have Bodhi, we can have the Chitta aspect, but if we do not have the Bodhi element, then we could be misguided in terms of how we are expressing our love and compassion, how we are trying to, sort of liberate, emancipate other people from the bondages or whatever. And we may actually end up shoving down our own version of social justice down the throat of those who we think we are helping. But they may not want it, but we insist. You should have this. This is a good thing, so that really, so when we talk about Bodhichita, then you have to think of Bodhichita in that context. Bodhi and Chitta. So, Bodhi represents, if you like, the absolute aspect of bodhicitta. And the chitta represents the relative aspect of bodhicitta. Bodhi means enlightenment. So, in Mahayana Buddhism, it is said that our own inherent nature is awakened. But it's shrouded over by all kinds of superfluous and adventitious defilements. So for that reason, even when we care and we want to do the best we can in life, we end up doing the wrong thing. Because that bodhi aspect has not yet been cultivated or has not been found. So that's the absolute aspect. Bodhi, bodhichitta. Chitta is the heart, the compassion aspect. So wisdom and compassion, in other words, must go together. Bodhi is wisdom, chitta is compassion, the heart. So wisdom and compassion must be in balance. It is not helpful simply to be guided by wisdom or by compassion. They must be brought together. And in Mahayana literatures, it is said that it's like a bird needing two wings to fly. You need, so you need wisdom and you need compassion to sail through, to basically stay afloat or fly through, if you like, in life. You need wisdom and compassion. You need, in other words, mentally, you have to be insightful, and also you need to have some kind of richness in terms of your emotional life. In Buddhism, the chitta aspect or the compassion aspect does not simply mean feeling pity for others or this, that, and other thing. It's not as simplistic as that. It actually covers all aspects of positive emotions. So, if we have that, then we will have compassion. Compassion is not just feeling sorry for somebody's, sort of miserable life, but compassion has to do with learning about how to deal with one's own suffering and pain in such a way that the positive emotions that one is able to generate then allows us to overcome that pain and misery that we feel within ourselves. So compassion is a transformative should be seen as a transformative emotion, rather than seeing compassion as sharing other people's misery. Somebody has become divorced, let's say, and you've been divorced 10 times. So you can relate to that. Oh, you poor thing, yeah, I've gone through this many times. This is a horrible thing. But that is not real compassion. Real compassion is powerful. And I don't like to use the word, but it's sort of like proactive. Otherwise, you think of compassion as some sense of like a passive thing, something that you share, and people feel helpless, you feel helpless, so you then share that feeling of helplessness together and celebrate that over a bottle of wine or something. I don't know. Maybe not even that, but anyway. So that sense of feeling of desperation, frustration, despair, and sharing that is not compassion. Compassion should have element of joy. It should have element of willfulness, and it should have element of hope, vision. So when you have those things, then compassion you feel will be empowering instead of disempowering. Because often it's not like that. The compassionate person is supposed to be somebody who just sort of, feels sorry for everybody, and if somebody is feeling dispossessed, oppressed, trodden on, treated with disdain, all kinds of things like that, then the compassionate person is supposed to say, oh, you should feel those things. All those idiots, whoever they might be, are responsible for what you're experiencing. So you've got every right to feel this thing. As if like that is empowering. That's not empowering. What is empowering is to say that, yes, life circumstances may have been really dreadful to you, and I myself too have experienced such and such a thing, but I have learned to overcome these adverse circumstances and situations. And so I became more empowered. And if you're able to share that experience with other people, then you're being compassionate. See, when you do that, you're bringing the bodhi aspect into what you're doing, the wisdom. In other words, wisdom aspect. Otherwise, there's no wisdom. All you have is just this overwhelming feeling, wanting to help people, and you yourself feel very pained by everything that's happened in the course of your life, your family situations, your employment circumstances, how the bosses have treated you, and you know, even in terms of the political systems you may have to live under, you know, the list goes on and on. Which is not to say that you should bear and bring it. Actually, what I'm saying is the opposite. When you feel empowered, then you do not feel like a victim.